Good afternoon, folks. I am Abhi Vidyasagar. I am Viv's husband, and I just wanted to give you all an introduction. So Viv is also here with me. So in case if you all want to ask any questions, but fundamentally, this session is about knowing all the various different competitions that are there across for your children. I am assuming, and because I've been doing this on a yearly basis for all the parents, and a lot of the people who join in are folks who have kids just who have started gymnastics in the last 2 years or so. So you are most of the time everybody is eager to understand what are the various different combinations, competitions. How do you participate? How does your child get ready for those competitions? So my session here is to build awareness on the various different competitions and the types of competitions that are there. Okay, so I just wanted to start with that. So there are three level overview. There are three types of competitions. Okay, the first one is club-based competitions. There are local competitions. There are national level competitions. There is interstate, whatever it is, and then there are international competitions as well, which are all club-based. Then there are school competitions. What do I mean is these are district, state level, regional, or national and international competitions that happen within your school boards. Then there is obviously the federation competitions, which is the federation that we are part of, which is the Gymnastics Federation of India. This has district, state level, national level, and as well as international competition. So these, what is different between these three, right? Club or level based competitions. When I talk about this, is you actually represent your club. There are many such competitions. So there are local competitions. Is each club will try and organize their own competition. There are some local school level competitions that they will organize where you can represent your school or represent your club. And there are several of these across. There are several in Bangalore. There are several that are organized by people in other clubs in Hyderabad, Chennai, Bombay, and several other places as well. And what it means is these competition, especially because a lot of them will be level based, you move at your pace, which means your gymnast moves at your pace. This you will it'll be much better when I explain when I turn around and come back after all the other type of competitions for you to understand. But the simplest way is whether you start at 4 years old and how you have progressed, or you have started at 8 or 9 years old and now you're beginning to progress, even then you can still participate in this club or level based competitions. There are more winners in each. That's a type of more winners in each competition. In this case, because the motivation of these competitions are to enable kids to participate more and win more, right? The IGCI is something that we are involved with, which is the Independent Gymnastics Clubs of India. This is what we organize. We organize this twice a year. Gaudium, which who's in Hyderabad, organizes for the last year or last few years, they've been organizing on a yearly basis. Leap Gymnastics, which is based out of Bombay, they do competition as well, which is level based. They have been trying to do it across different states, but primarily focused in Bombay as well as in Delhi right now. And their Leap has also worked with the GFI to have the GFI level based competitions, which is going to be introduced in the 26-27 year. Okay. So this is the club or the level based competitions. I will get into more of these, okay, as we go. I have different slides for each. The school based competitions. So, school based competition is you represent the school. Every board organizes this competition annually for one calendar year, for every calendar year. It's an age group wise winner. Top three are the winners. So basically, every competition, every apparatus will have top three as winners, and the top five make the team. Okay. So if you have state level competition and to go for the nationals, the top five are selected for the nationals. CBSE has straight nationals. I'll get into those things, right? More in detail separately. These are school based competitions and they are ICSC has its own, CBSE has its own, state boards had its own. If your kids are part of the IB curriculum, then they are part of that. So fundamentally, that's how it is. The last one is the federation competitions, where you can either represent a club for the district, but after that, it is a club, it's the district and the state that you go and represent, or the country. This happens once a year. It's again age group wise, and top three winners and top five make the team. This is the Gymnastics Federation of India, or the Gymnast Association of Karnataka competitions. I just want to add, whenever there are age group wise competition, it's always based on year of birth. There is no distinction if your child was born on Jan 1, 2015 versus December 31st, 2015. Even if there is a 364-day difference between the two children, they are treated as one, and they will be competing in the same age group. It is not on the class that they're attending or the age as on the date of competition. I just want to make sure, because this has happened where parents make a mistake, and sometimes they register for a competition with the wrong age group, and the child gets disqualified because they entered the wrong age group. So please read the documents, and if you have any doubt, ask us, because then we'll help you put the child in the right age group. I'll pause here for any questions and before I proceed to the next slide. Okay, I'll go to the next one. Here I am digging deeper into the district, state, and national level competitions for schools in India. These are organized by various boards. These come under what at the top level, which you will see, it's the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. This is where it comes under. And primarily they come under, everybody comes as the School Game Federation of India. So this is the body that governs this. From the left to right as you go, CBSE organizes its own games called the CBSE Games. They have direct nationals. They have an under 11, under 14, under 17, and under 19. This is for kids right from whatever their fifth, sixth grade till about they're in the 12th standard. These are independent CBSE competitions. Okay. And they have, for the last 8, 9 years, direct nationals. They do not have state or district competition. They have straight nationals. Okay. Then you have, if your kids are in ICSC or ISC, which is basically ICSC organizations, they have under 14 and under 17 state and then national level competition. They started off with only under 17, and then they went ahead and added under 14. There was a talk of them adding under 11, but they did not. We can watch and see in 2016 2026 whether they will add an under 11 or an under 19 for the future. Okay. They go for a state and then nationals. Then I will come to the extreme right, which is basically if you are on the IB or international board, then there is something known as the IBSO or the ISSO. They do their own competition. They go direct nationals, and they have an under 11, under 14, under 17, and under 19 age group. Under 11 for them, they actually, in the last 2 years, have made it as a level-based competition. In a couple of years ago, which was 24, they had the leap levels that was part of the under 11. Last year, under 11 was actually the Gaudium levels or the Gaudium International School levels. But both of these have their origins in the same type of origin, which is the Australian-based level program. So they're kind of similar. But under 14, under 17, under 19 are the standard things. Here, in this case, all of these, right? And then if you're in a state board, which is the central path, you have a district, state, selections, and then you go for the nationals. All of these culminate in something known as the SGFI nationals, which is the CBSE games will send a few people as their contingent. ICSE or CIC will send in their contingent, and every state as a state board will send their contingent, and then ISSO will also send their contingent, and then they'll have their nationals. This is what I give you over here is the CBSE schools. They have something of the CBSE WSO. Earlier, CBSE schools would not have a direct path to SGFI, but they added it. I've left that here just for your knowledge, but it is not to be confused right now. I'll talk about it if at all they have it in 2026. They all culminate in this SGFI Nationals, which is the prestigious one for everybody. Then ISSO also has their own version of their international competitions, and it's all for international schools across the globe. They have their own international competition as well. This is your largest pool of competitions. Let me tell you this. This is your largest pool of competitions. And what I would always tell you is go introduce yourself to your school coordinator, to your school principal, because each of these competitions, CBSE, ICSE, the district competitions, if you're in state board, if you're in IB, each one of this will get their circulars. It usually goes to their generic mail IDs, and the school has to register you. And if you miss the registration window, no matter what happens, they don't accept any other entries at the time of the competition. For both CBSE and CISE, the registration windows open in the June timeframe, June or early July timeframe. ISSO is usually in the July, August timeframe or September timeframe.
Yeah. For CBSE, what I've understood is that we have like direct nationals, you mean to say, or like how it
There
is?
is direct nationals in CBSE.
Okay, okay. And can we apply it or school has to apply?
School has to always apply. All the school competitions, the school has to send the entry.
Okay, okay. Even for the nationals, school has to apply.
Yes. No matter what, the school has to send the entry.
Okay, okay.
Where can we find CBSE schools list which supports gymnastics in their schools?
You don't care whether the CBSE the school supports gymnastics or no. That doesn't matter. You are a part of a CBSE school. You can train in RNR, but you want to take a competition, but you should go through the school to send your entry.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
In what time frame? Sorry, in June only we have to do that?
Usually between June and July is when they open up the window for registration for the competition. Even if the competition is in November, the registration window opens in June to July. It's usually kept open for a period of 1 month while they can register, and then it closes.
Do we need to carry any certificate from RNR to school saying that they have been learning this or something like that?
It's not required. If the school asks, you can just tell them word of mouth. Hey, my child has been training here and we need to register. This is the competition and I need to be registered. We'll give you the details on when the time comes. We'll give you the details on what to register for or what to look for, and we'll help you out.
But it's the school that has to make the effort of registering themselves. That's very important. So, as parents, your job is to tell them that my child is going to be in a competitive program or is in a competitive program, wants to go and participate in the nationals, and that is where the key is for you to interact with the PE teacher, the coordinator, and they in turn will actually push getting registered with CBSE, because there is a fee that the school has to pay. So all that is very important, and ensuring you tell them that yes, for gymnastics we want you to
If I may
register.
ask, if I may ask, which school does your child go to? Which CBSE school?
It is Sri Chaitanya.
Okay. We can go into a lot of times if the school has participated before in any of the CBSE competitions, they usually will know what to do. If not, there is always the first time that we'll have to walk them through.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. I just wanted to know that is there any qualification round happens before they go for these CBSE or ICSE competition, or is it only the age criteria?
So right now, for each of these, it's only the age criteria.
Okay.
When what we tell parents is,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then in for all the parents for the last 8-10 years that we have been coaching,
Mm-hmm.
we guide them whether to send them in the first year or no. The reason is, let's say if your child is, let's say, fully not ready or not
Correct.
ready fully, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there is always a point where they are almost there versus they are there or they are not there at all. If they're almost there and they are there, we will have a talk with you in terms of, hey, tell the child, and we prepare you for the competition with extra classes and things like that. If the child is not there at all or not ready at all, or the child, we have a doubt whether the child can really perform well, there are certain skills for every age group. There's a certain skill that the child has to perform. At that point of time, we usually encourage the child and the parent not to go for the competition. I'll tell you why. Because you send a kid, and it's okay if it is in a district competition or a small level based competition that you send them, right? You send them to a competition. If you're in a CBSE school, you have 200 kids that are participating in the nationals directly. Under 11, under 14, normally there are 200 kids participating. And if your kid is not ready and your kid ends up in the bottom last 20 of the 200, guess what? The kid is going to come back home and say, I never want to do gymnastics again, because the kid has seen 200 people ahead.
Yeah. It
Okay.
demotivates them.
Exactly. So that is where what we encourage at that point of time is always participate in this club level competitions. We have inside the club competitions. We have in local club level competitions. When the child gets prepared with some competitions like that, then they're mentally prepared. You throw a child who's specifically, say, 9 years old or 10 years old into a national level competition, and the kid is not ready, it is always going to be disaster. So my advice has been to parents, yes, we all want to push our kids. We all want our kids to be extremely good, but you need to allow them to grow into that level rather than rush them, because they're going to come back. And once they're mentally made up their mind, I don't want to do this, I'm not good enough. That's it. There's no coming back from there.
So basically, we count on you.
Yes,
For
count
the
on us,
qualification.
count on the coach, and we will
Yeah.
guide you. Okay.
Thank you.
So that's a good point that you all brought up. We keep encouraging parents and kids to participate in small competitions first. Like I told you, the club-based competitions. Do get your child to participate in those, because then that helps graduate into the next level of competitions, right? And you slowly, it's like this, right? If um, you have to allow the time for somebody to bake well rather than just instantly throwing them in the fire. Okay, I'll move to the next set, which is the organized by the competition on the federation level competitions organized by the Gymnastics Federation of India. Now, there are various, it's a very simple one, same thing. We have district competitions, state competitions, nationals. We have multiple age groups, but fundamentally it is sub juniors, juniors, seniors. That's what it is. That's where the nationals are. But there are various different forms of gymnastics. There is artistic, is what we teach. There is aerobic, there is rhythmic gymnastics, acrobatic, and tumbling and trampoline. We primarily have been sending our kids in artistic and aerobic gymnastics. Uh, Rhythmic, we still have a beginner program, and we have a beginner program that Shailaja's, and then all the competitive is goes to Shailaja. Shailaja is our as a coach who used to be here, but she has her own center with her own setup. And so people with rhythmic go there. And aerobic, we work with them, and we work with other clubs that if there is an interest and we feel the kid will be good in the aerobic gymnastics, we actually send them there. But for your level, it is basically under 11, under 2. So here is where the age groups matter a different, slightly different. Aerobic is slightly different in terms of what their age groups are. In artistic, there is a cadet, mini, sub-junior, juniors, and seniors. And here is where the age groups differ for men and women, or boys and girls. Like if I saw in your previous one, right, there is under 14, under 17. So just the most common, right? Under 14 are usually kids from 6, 7, 8, roughly. And then you have 8, 9, 9, 8, 9, 10th, or 9, 10th is the under 17 kids. Here is where the age group for boys is different and age group for girls is different. If the age group for boys is sub-juniors, it is actually under 14. And in this case, it is 14 and below. So there's a slight difference. It's actually under 15, but it's 14 and below. For girls, it is 12 and below. You might say it's sub-juniors, but sub-juniors for boys is different, sub-juniors for girls is different. Don't worry about all of these things. But what happens is you will see all of these terms thrown here and there. And that is why we are having this session, so that you understand that age groups are slightly different on what they are competing in. And hence, knowing the year of birth is extremely important, because all of this, again, I go back, is determined by the year of birth. Okay? It's very similar to the school-based competitions. And here is what I tell people, right? This is, once you've gone through club competitions, once you've gone through school competitions, then is where you really start competing in this, because this is where there are kids who maybe not in the sub-junior level, but in the right in the junior level, they give up school. They are going to open school. They are homeschooled, and all they do is train. Okay, so competing at these levels are very high, and so we need to make sure that a kid has gone through the first two stages before getting into this, because the competition can be high, the number of participants are less, but the competition is high. One thing that is changing, and this is what I told you, right, from 26, 27, what the Gymnastics Federation of India is doing is this section here, right? The sub-juniors, they are changing. They're trying to make it more of a level based. And that is what is over here. This is the circular details. There's a national level, there's a national competitive program that they have developed. This is along with JSW Sports. This is LEAP, and you've heard of JSW, right? They are the ones who are helping put this. This is working along with the Australian Federation, which is basically, it is built out of the Australian level program, which is the ALP program. And they're redesigning the sub-juniors to have a level-based competition. So previously you saw there was, okay, wait, 1 minute here. Say the boys had 10 and below, 12 and below, and 14 and below. The girls had 10 and 12. So they're trying to do similarly, but they're going to have a grade, meaning they're level 7, 8, 9, and for the girls, level 8, 9, 10. When we say grade, means it is the grade of the level, not the class that they're attending in, not the school grade. Okay. So this is what they have put in, just to give you an idea. This is where the various grades are. National grade level is you have to be born on 2018 or 2019, which is grade 4 for boys. Grade 4 for girls is 2018 or 2019. So each of these details are there. We have the details. We have sent our kids for competitions in a similar level-based program as well. A lot of our level-based progression is close to what we do over here. Once this is fully formalized, we will adjust our kids also to prepare at these levels. This is just forward information to you, because you will get this as the competition is changing. You will have parents who will have got some information, oh, this is changing and it's going to be completely different. We are aware this is what it is, and we will prepare your kid as the competition comes up. But it is truly an offshoot of this artistic cadet mini sub juniors for the smaller kids that's going to be changing. These were the levels. So I'll go back to three pieces, right? There is club level competitions. It's three types of competitions. There's club level competitions. There is school board based competitions. And then there is federation based competitions. Start with club level competitions because that's the simplest one. That's how your child starts preparing. Get into the school based competitions. Do not, if your child has been doing gymnastics for a few years, do not skip the school level competitions, and then we can look about the federation level competitions. This year, if they truly launch the national level, they launch the national level level based competitions, it will truly be an experience for the kids to enjoy. And if they do it in the right way, it actually will be an experience because the scorings are usually live. They have a very good way of showcasing what the child has been doing by having online results. You can follow the results live. You have several other things in that as well. So there was a question, age and level will be considered. Supriya, you asked a question on age and level. Okay, federation-based competition. Okay, this one is age, and what federation level competitions decides is basically at this age group, you have to know these 10 skills and you have to perform them, right? So it is a forced function of a level. So you can go at a pace, you have to be at a pace where it is matched with the other set. That's the federation level competitions. There was a question by Zainab on for sub-junior for girls, is it 12 and under or 13 and under? For sub-junior for girls is 12 and under, which means that I've got to do the math for this year. If I'm not mistaken, you have to be 2014 born or earlier or later, basically. Sorry. There was another question on the chat on how do we get to know about other club-based competitions other than IGCI. We always get the invitations and we actually start sharing them with the parents. Okay. Age level coach will inform of the skills. Yes, and Supriya, correct. The coach will inform about the skills meant for that particular level. They know which levels or which age group has their skills, what skills required. They are aware and they will tell them about that and they will prepare them. I will leave it open for another minute if you have any questions. Okay, Nirvana had a question for ICSE at school level. What is the process and how do kids get selected for the competition? What we have seen is so far in gymnastics, the number of kids in a particular school are less. So usually a school has to send five participants in a particular age group. And usually for one school to have more than five is not usually, we have not seen it at least in Bangalore. So in an ICSE school specifically, usually they all go. Whoever is training, they go. I have seen in athletics and in other competitions where they might run an internal qualification or selection process. But in gymnastics, we have not seen that yet. In case there are many kids, please pull us in and we can help share what your kid knows to the school authorities. And if they're running a selection program, we can actually be prepared. But as of now, whichever schools that we have seen in Bangalore, at least, the number of kids participating for these is far less from each school. I'm just saying from each school. Can you let me know which school your kid goes to? GNS. Okay. I don't think they have many kids doing. Sorry, I don't know the full form of GNS. So just trying to. Vibgyor. Okay. Gopalan National School. Gopalan actually has, Gopalan International School has many kids doing gymnastics. Gopalan National School does not necessarily have. We can probably check on that. Um, but even then, they were actually sending all their kids as much as possible. Vibgyor also do not have a huge competitive program. The Vibgyor Marthahalli one, which is near Tubrahalli, has a few kids. Vibgyor Harlur has a few kids. So each school will probably not go more than 5. So you'd be okay. Greenwood High School. Greenwood High School does not have many kids doing gymnastics. So if that is the case, what happens is your entry will go in directly through the school. By the way, entry process for ICSE has been a lot more simpler than for CBSE, just because of the way the systems have been set up. ICSE has been a lot more easier for us to navigate, but CBSE has been a little more tougher. But the key is be in touch with your school sports coordinator, be in touch with your parents, and make sure that they know that they're interested in doing some competitions. Okay. Yes, at RNR, the coaches will keep tab of the progress and tell you if the kid is ready for applying for competition. What we usually do is get the kids to first start spending a few more hours, take some local competitions, get them there, and then start pushing them into more competition, because they also know that, and you have to also know that the number of hours to put in for a competition or for a competitive program is much higher. Will there be special classes to train kids for this competition in RNR? This is the May competition that you're talking about. If it's the May competition, there will be extra classes. The kid will be told when to come and for how long to come. And at any point, if you have any questions, please do let us know, and I'll be happy to walk you through this. It does become confusing because the age groups are different, the skill levels might be different, and things might get confusing. Sorry, there was a question. I saw somebody unmute. Please go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me, AB?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, maybe I joined the meeting just now. So maybe you have already spoken about it and maybe I've missed. I'm Barsa here,
Yes, Barsa.
Pranti's mother. Yeah. So actually, I'm more interested. I'm just interested in knowing about the sports quota thing. I have done a bit of research, sports quota in college admissions
Okay.
in India. So I've done a bit of research, wherein what my research says is that basically the DU University, Delhi University, and Karnataka, of course, in Karnataka itself we have sports quota, and few colleges in Tamil Nadu which have actually sports quota. But like apart from that, at least my research doesn't say that sports quota helps in getting a college admission. So, do you agree to this, or do you have to? Will you add to this?
Okay, so let me put it this way, right? In terms of there's mixed options or mixed results in this, depending on what stream that you want to take. They are either open or closed for sports quota. It's a little subjective, so they're not really. See, there was a period where there were certain people who, if you participated in a particular national level or international level competition, there are certain marks added to your existing marks. So then you go through the normal process, but there's a certain bit of additional marks added to you, which then jumped you through the merit system.
Yeah.
That is one approach. The other approach is all the sports quota applicants are put into one queue and they are selected from there. So it is different for each college and each university. The second piece is depending on what stream you're applying or which level, right? If you're in college and if you're applying from 12th to degree, you should have participated in the SGFI competition at least. And so there is certain restrictions that they put on that, which some universities truly will clearly articulate out and some don't. So it's a little mixed bag on that front. If you want, I can sit down with you and talk to you, and we can talk
Okay.
specifically on which university and what stream, because it's
Yeah.
slightly different in each stream also on what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah. I mean yeah, maybe I'll connect offline with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Barsa. The bottom line is, okay, May competition is internal as described on the group. Sorry, I kind of, there was a question and I'll just tell you the competition is internal. Don't worry about what levels, what age group, does your child have the skills, all of that. We'll give you that information. Your role as a parent is to really get them to the academy for training. We'll make sure about the others, the rest. When a particular competition comes, whether it is you have to be registered for CBSE, whether you have to be registered for ICSE, whether it is registered for the IB, this is why, if you notice, when you are registering, when we ask you to register in the academy, we actually ask you details of which board does your child attend, whether the child attends CBSE schools or ICSE schools or IB schools. We actually ask that fundamentally so that we know who's in what school, and when that comes in, we can actually talk to you. Okay? So we actually do that. And the other piece, whether it is internal club level competitions, we keep it open to all. But when there is external club level competitions, we actually go and encourage people and we will come and talk to you. So those things are there and we will do that. And in the meantime, if you have any doubt, you can always walk up to us and talk to us at the front desk. But we will keep that. Your role is really to get the child into the academy, keep the kid well, has good nutrition, and is well rested. And the rest we'll take care. And if there are no other questions, we can close the call and the meeting. And thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us.
Just one thing to add, Abby, is that also parents, please be in touch with your CHAMS coordinator, because sometimes even we get to know about CBSE or these kind of things a little later. The school needs to inform you. If your child even participates or wins or even participates at the club level, we always tell parents, inform the school that your child is competing in gymnastics. So whenever they get any circular, they will reach out to you, or you can reach out. But it is important that as parents you please reach out and let your CHAMS coordinator or whoever, PE teacher, or whoever is in the sports, who's the sports coordinator, know that your child is either competitive gymnast or is a club level based gymnast doing recreation gymnastics. Doesn't matter. There could be an opening. There could be, sometimes they want to showcase the school, so they might let you know that we want to go as a school, represent the school in another competition. Will your child like to participate? So sometimes parents have come to us saying, the PE teacher has to come. These are the skills they've told us. Can you teach them? So we'll take a little extra classes and do it. So your job to please be in touch with your CHAMPS or sports coordinator.
Okay, thank you so much, folks, and thanks for joining. I am ending the call now.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.